freak for it since I was like knees high. And so I wanted it. And my friends were starting to get, I'm 60, and my friends were starting to get it, and I got nothing. And then I realized, and like I have actually saved my first gray hair. I actually have it taped to the bottom of a snow globe. Okay, because, you know, I'm me. And then I realized, well, yeah, I have gray hair. It's just you need to be specific with spirit. So I have gray hair through here where I really need it.
Yeah.
And it never, you know, and it never.
That's super sexy. Well, here we are, everybody. Talking about the sexiness of salt and pepper, the salt and pepper look. Taking us back. So I'm gonna put on my headset. I welcome everyone. Really, really happy to have JWOW, Julie Woods here today. Julie is a dear friend of mine and mentor, friend, colleague, co-conspirator. Hard to describe. So,
Right?
you know, I've been letting the guests, you know, over this last week
share what they want in terms of their introduction. So I want to let you do that. And so we're live on Facebook now, and please feel free to come over and join us on Zoom. We would love to have you here with us. I think it's really important that we see each other's faces right now. You don't have to. We've had some people that are like, I don't want the video today. Totally fine. You can do that too. And I think we need to see each other right now. And this is the best we got. So this is what we're working with. Thank goodness. Thank goddess for Zoom. They're doing a good business right now. Boy.
For real. That is truth.
Yeah.
I'm just looking. There we are, because I want to see us.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to plead. What do you all call me, elder? I'm going to plead elder, and I just trying to get the phone thing so I can see us doing stuff. Okay, there.
All right, I'm taking my breakfast out of my teeth while we do that. All right, so as I said hi, I told you I wore my unicorn today in honor of JWOW because she is truly a unicorn. She is one of a kind. There's nobody like her. So welcome. What do you want to tell the people about yourself?
Oh, have mercy. Let's see. I am, wow, a billion things. So the simplest is I'm a 24-person multiple. That means that I have 23 other souls in my body. I am autistic, and I trained myself to do the extroverted charisma thing out of a binder that I made, you know, looking at all the people who were popular and good with folks, and I wrote it down when I was 8 and I memorized it. I used to do the corporate thing a billion years ago. I trained trainers for the Pentagon. I worked at 3Com. I did all kinds of stuff like that. Accidentally became a shaman because I really am a yuppie. And I keep going to these gatherings with all of these wonderful people like Amy Jo and what have you that they have in the middle of these forests and all this nature stuff, because it's the only place I can find the hippies I love. And so you know, that's my thing. I love language, and I have a thing called Planet JWOW. I highly recommend having your own planet because you say shit and people do it. And I, you know, and I'm bossy, so that works out for me. And really what I live into as a mission is lifting up the entire planet, because I also have an enormous ego, and I truly believe that this is my time. I'm 60 years old, and this is my time to love on the entire world and help it lift itself up into its greatness. I love on people to love them into their greatness individually, and I also do, you know, larger things. I have a thing called Fans with Cans, where we fed 170,000 families in 4 states before we became a nonprofit, because the only perpetual motion machine on the planet is between my nose and my chin, and I will talk you into doing the right thing. And so, you know, that's the truth. And so that's it. I'm a I'm a human who loves loving people into their bliss and greatness. And I don't care about circumstances. And nothing on a certain level has changed for me from that because we are in COVID. If anything, it has been amplified. How'd I do? Amy Jo, does that do it? Oh, I can't hear you, baby.
Forgot I had myself muted. Yeah, we just try to keep everybody muted while people are talking. It just helps us keep the lines clear.
And she's coming back. Oh, muted again.
Boo. I know. I'm like, please, grid, please work for us right now. You're what we got right now. So.
Please. Prayer, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So.
There...
So yeah, I mean, I love you. I love your wisdom, and one of the things that I think is you have so many extraordinary gifts. One of your extraordinary gifts is around language. Even just us calling this human love cocoon, that came from JWOW, and I've been crediting you throughout. It's like she was like, no, we're calling this cocooning. This is not a quarantine. This is not a lockdown. This is none of that. This is cocooning. And so that's been a very powerful metaphor to think about, like what happens in the cocoon, like what does the caterpillar go through in the cocoon? It's a painful process. It turns to slime and then it makes itself into a butterfly. I mean, it's crazy. So we're turning to slime right now, JWOW.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would love to have you lead us in, whatever feels top of mind for you today, because there's so many things you can lead us on. But I love the languaging piece. You're so good at like keying into even the smallest details about language, like not declaring something, but clearing it. That came from JWOW. So you get me to think about language I feel like I am someone that thinks about language and I care about language and I'm a writer, and you get me to think about it like on a whole other level of what is it that I'm saying. And so I feel like that is a gift that people need right now too. It's like, how are we talking about this? How are we framing this? How are we relating to this? Because that is what we get to control, is how we want to relate to this. I'm having a hard day. JWOW saw it immediately when she came on. I'm gonna cry. Don't make me cry.
I love you.
I know you do. Yeah, because I'm dealing with an elderly father and a really difficult situation. So that's what's up for me today. And I've been pretty high most days. I've been like, all right, I'm bringing it. And today is my day that I'm like, oof, I'm feeling it. So I'm super delighted that you're here. And yeah, I whatever you want to share of your magic, please, because the world needs your magic right now.
Thank you very much, baby girl. I adore you. And I love your courage in showing your humanity and what's real. Folks are having up and down days for all kinds of reasons. I'm very blessed because, and this is a really hard thing for some people to hear, those of us who have had horrific lives right now are going, oh, I'm good. I've gotten my ass kicked. The kids in my neighborhood used to stone me to try to kill me. I have been almost killed by more people than I care to count because I keep putting myself in dangerous situations where I'm trying to work with people. And here's the thing about how we language reality that I'm seeing. There's an opportunity for us to clear, thank you for sharing that. There's an opportunity for us to clear a reality that lifts us up. And it takes just as many syllables to do that as it does to go fetal around all the things that are going wrong. I'm a very pragmatic shaman. I did not learn, I'm an urban shaman. I did not learn my shamanism. I'm the urban bliss shaman. I did not learn my shamanism from some guy in a diaper in the Amazon forest. Because you're not going to find me in nature unless there's some hippies I love there. Okay, because that's real. And so I'm in this place of, this is the languaging of now. This is the languaging of self-leadership in many ways. We have not held ourselves accountable, not to other people. We haven't held ourselves accountable to ourselves at this level before. I mean, if you think about it, you don't think about having to wash your hands all the time. You don't think about all of these things where it's like, shit, if I don't do this, I might die, or I might get somebody who I love sick. Let me not do that, right? And it gets us into a place of discipline. So the kids under 30, kids call the things that I say wowdums, because I kept bitching and moaning at them that I'm not wise. You know, I just know stuff. And so they said, well, you're JWOW, so we'll call them wowdums. Okay, great. So I have these wowdums. And here's one. Discipline, a trust elevates discipline into mastery. And mastery, love evolves mastery into freedom. Let me say this again. Trust elevates discipline into mastery, and love elevates mastery into freedom. And here's how that works, right? When you do the thing over and over and over and over and over again, what a great smile, Jerry, jeepers. Okay, there's got to be a dentist somewhere who wants to use your picture. I'm just saying, okay? When you do the thing over and over and over and over again, I'm just saying, girl, hi, pleased to meet you, I'm JWOW. When you do the thing over and over again, you get to discipline. You just get there. If you repeat the thing long enough, you've got discipline, right? Oh, and by the way, when I say right, I'm a Black woman with a Southern Baptist background, and I'm usually talking to a whole bunch of white people, so y'all gonna have to give me hippie hands so I know you're listening. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, good. So the trust in what it is that you do, that discipline thing, the trust that you put in those actions that you've chosen to repeat, that trust is what gets you to mastery, because you keep trusting it in multiple circumstances until those actions have a sphere around them of, I know it'll work here, and it'll work here, and it'll work here, and it'll work here, and it'll work here. And the next thing you know, you have a sphere of action that you can put your weight into. Does that make sense? Okay, great. So where are my hippie hands? Thank you very much. Okay, so love takes that discipline, that mastery that you've gained, where you've got that sphere of discipline in multiple arenas. Love takes that and evolves it into freedom. Think about it. The places where you're masterful, you have a sense of freedom that people who do not have mastery do not have, right? And so we have an unprecedented, is that a yes or a maybe, Linda? It's a yes, okay, great. So I'm actually paying attention to your pictures, okay? So here's the thing. When you love what you're great at, there's that sense of, I can do anything. You know, that sense of freedom that you get? That's literally what I'm talking about, okay? You get to generate freedom. Now, here's a really cool thing. You get to generate freedom as a blueprint for everything in your life. What you do in one place, you tend to do in other places. So why not have that freedom that comes from mastery, that comes from discipline, be your norm? When that's your norm, your lens of life changes, because you're seeing the world through the eyes of mastery that is evolved into freedom, that is rooted in love, because it's the love of the mastery that got you to the freedom in the first place. That makes sense? Okay, kinda, great. Okay, Jerry. Okay, so you look like you work out. Do you? Yeah, okay, great. So you've got some measure of discipline around working out, right? Right? Okay, great.
Jerry, you can
There's,
unmute if you want to. So totally
yeah,
fine
yeah,
to do that
yeah,
and just talk.
Oh,
yeah, please.
okay.
Cool.
Hi,
Okay, hi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Okay, so, and I have to explain that to people who are like, why are you doing great when the world's going to hell in a handbasket? It's like, because my world's doing just fine. Okay, so you've got discipline around working out. I obviously do not. Okay, this body was not built on steamed vegetables, right? And so I live to make Amy Jo smile like that and shake her head. I live to have that happen. Okay. Okay, so you probably have some measure of mastery, because I'm also seeing some toning here. So you have some measure of mastery around that discipline of taking care of your body, right? Okay, great. You know that moment, hey, Amanda. So you know that moment when you're working out and there's that thing that happens when the endorphins kick in and you're doing some worky outy thing, because I don't know about that, but you're doing some workouty thing and you feel amazing. Like you know that you can do other things in the world and you're thinking like that. It's like, I have mastery. I have this sense of freedom in my life while you're working out. You ever have those moments?
Yes.
Great. That's the freedom I'm talking about. Okay, it can happen because you do something physiological. Amanda happens to be a beloved of mine who is a master web builder. Okay, and so there's a certain sense of freedom that happens when you know you can look at a thing and just make it because you can. Okay, or you can do a certain kind of, I don't know, burpee or something because you can. All right. You know, but you know what I'm saying, right? That's freedom. Now, here's the thing about freedom. It translates in multiple places. There's my lady. It translates into multiple places as I learned, I can speed read. Okay, so I can read 10 books in a night if I have to. And I have had to. You know, I work for the Pentagon. They just load stuff on you, tell you to go do it. All right, so I understood speed reading this way. If you're walking in the forest, people are like, why do I want to speed read? I don't want to speed read poetry. You know, I don't want any discipline. What I'm saying is I don't want any discipline around the thing or mastery around the thing. I don't need that. Here's why you learn how to speed read. So you're walking in the forest and you're walking with, pick some athlete, modern athlete, all right, who's like super, like a Bolt. What's his name? Usain Bolt or whatever, the super fast guy who does this, right, in the Olympics. All right, so he and I are walking in the forest. And we're just walking and talking and reading poetry and having a really good time. This tiger comes along. Guess who's going to get eaten? Okay, he's got mastery and freedom. He's out, right? I get to be dinner. I speed read, same way. Someone's like, oh my God, I can't even read, 2 paragraphs in a night, and I read 10 books. Right? I have mastery around that. So I have freedom. Not only that, but I'll read the 10 books in a couple hours, and then I've got the rest of my night to binge on Netflix, and everybody else is buried in their books. I have freedom. We don't often let ourselves think of freedom other than, unless we're watching the Harriet Tubman movie, or we're talking about slavery, or we don't think of freedom as the freedom to do things, the freedom to eat well, the freedom to cook well, the freedom to work out, the freedom to do things. At one point I was paralyzed from the waist down. I didn't have the freedom that I had, to move around and do things. Freedom is ultimately a thing that so many of us, if not most of us, are working toward, but we don't give ourselves credit for the things that bring us freedom because we don't take the time to notice them. In this time of cocooning, we have an opportunity to take the time to notice the things that either are freedom or can be freedom for us. And when you notice them, when you put your energy into them, you are more likely to get to the freedom. I have freedom by cocooning because I am free from the worry that I'm going to be sick and I'm going to get my beloved sick. That's freedom. And we don't think of that as freedom. It's like, well, I'm not, I'm not worrying, or I am worrying, or I've cocooned myself for 40 days and I'm still worrying. Stop borrowing trouble. Okay? We get to notice there's a flower called the naked ladies. And so I tell people, it's time to stop and smell the naked ladies. Okay? It's like, right? We, we get to notice what we already do, what we already have, apply gratitude, if not gratitude for it, to it, and then open it up, expand it, and build it out from there. We get to do that. And that in and of itself is freedom. Is your whole house ripped, Jerry? Okay, thank you, right? I'm to stop and smell the naked ladies. I'm saying, okay. So
I was like, I gotta know what the naked ladies look like. That's a naked lady, everybody. It looks like lilies to me. I guess it's like a version of a lily, looks like.
It's a flower. Okay, that I even know the name of a flower is a damn miracle. Okay. All right, because y'all don't know me. My thing is like, there's some stuff out there that's low on the ground and it's kind of green. What do they call that again? What's that? The low stuff on the ground that's green. What do they call that?
Grass?
Yeah, that. Okay. I'm from LA. All right. My idea of going out in nature is getting from my door to my car. All right. So.
Oh, we like nature here. That's not true, right, Jerry? We like nature. Come on now.
Oh yeah, no, y'all love nature, and isn't it wonderful to have all these friends who love nature? That way, I can appreciate it through them. Please, by all means, go out and pet nature for me. Is that what you do in nature? You pet it. You pet nature for me.
I mean, I do teach people it's good to make love to a tree sometimes, you know.
Yeah, mercy. I'm not into the splinters, okay? I just like, that's my thing.
Well, you know, you gotta like break out different parts of the toolbox, JWOW, you know.
Okay.
Maybe
Y'all
not rigorous like that.
You can not be so vigorous in what I'm doing. It's just that I'm kind of vigorous about everything. So I'm going to get splinters in places where I don't want people poking around. So I'm just not,
All right, so lay in a field and let the sun make love to you. How about that?
Oh, okay. See, that sounds lovely. As long as it's on a blanket and there's no bugs. But, says the woman who's been to Burning Man in a tent 5 times and, goes to, 7, events a year out in the middle of the forest. Please, this is my talking shit face. Okay. So please know I'm just silly. I'm just having fun.
We love
kind
it.
Of the
we need to laugh. Laughing is good.
Laughing is healing. And here's another thing, y'all, about that laughter thing. One of the things that being politically correct has tried to steal from us is our willingness and ability to laugh. Okay. I say absolutely, fully, robust, completely inappropriate things all the time. Okay. That make people laugh because that's how you heal the hurt. All humor is based in laughter. All humor is based in pain. All humor is based in pain. I have yet, since I heard that in 1974, to have someone tell me a joke that was really funny that didn't involve something painful. So it's meant to heal the pain. Like one of the things that I talk about on my show, I know this is gonna come as a shock. I'm a Black woman. And so there's just some stuff that goes with being Black. Like, I'm at Velcro head stage, all right? And someone's like, well, you can't say that. I'm like, A, my head. B, it's true. my beloved, who's blonde-haired, blue-eyed cutie pie, she has to, it looks like I have been rolling in a cotton field when I get my hair like this, because everything sticks to it, all right? And that's real. We get to laugh about that because I swear it's funny. It looks like I got a little white afro, you know, when I get up from doing stuff sometimes. We get to hold on to the authenticity of our languaging so that we are languaging a reality that serves us and empowers us. We get to do that. I don't let people tell me what comes out of my mouth. I mean, and let them keep their teeth. I don't do that. My thing is, I am precise in my languaging. I have never in 60 years said, I didn't mean to say that. I have said, that's not what I meant, which is a different statement. If it's out of my mouth, I meant to say it, because one of my precepts in my life is being accountable, fully accountable for what I say and write. I am old enough to where my mom said to me, I'm old and I am Black and I am gay. And those three as a combination mean that I don't get to make mistakes that other people get to make as a rule in America. Because if I make it, then I cannot tell you how many times I have heard some some white person or someone who is not Black say, oh, you know how they are, as if my one act represents the whole of Blackdom in America. And then they wonder why Black people have high blood pressure. Someone finally figured out that it's not a genetic thing. Thank you, right? It's not a genetic thing. You try spending every single moment of every day being completely responsible for whether or not the next Black person who comes along gets a job or gets to get in the door. You never get to make mistakes. We have right now in this time of cocooning, we've got an opportunity to tear down that kind of divisiveness, because COVID could not give a flying nanofucks embryo's first molecule about your intersectional bullshit, okay? It don't care if you are male, female, undecided, got all of it, white, Black, green, blue with purple polka dots, old, young, it doesn't care. These people are saying that it's not killing young people. It is. COVID don't care. And so since it doesn't, it behooves us to reach across whatever aisle we think we're in that other people are not. It behooves us. And I'm not going to tell you what to do. My mother's a very, very brilliant woman. And she told me growing up, she said, Julie Carol Woods, you have to do two things in life: stay Black and die. Anything else is gravy. So you can fill in your own ethnicity. Okay? Wonderful human, right? For real. Love my mommy, right? And so we get to be in a place where all of the circumstances, at this point, I don't care how it started. I don't care where it started. I am dealing with the fact that it is here. I mean, I'm a pragmatic shaman. So all my sitting and worrying about whether or not it was in China or all of the other pieces that are not information that's going to help me stay healthy and take care of my beloveds, anything outside of that, I don't want that languaging in my head of hopelessness, helplessness, hurt, or hatred. The 4 H's of the apocalypse. Okay? Not interested, because hopelessness lowers my immune system, and helplessness lowers my immune system, and feeling hurt lowers my immune system, and feeling hate at people lowers my immune system. In the time of COVID, why in the world would I lower my immune system? It doesn't even make sense. Y'all get that? Hippie hands. Okay? Thank you. And I don't know who Renee H is, but if you're willing, please, to have your face on, and whoever B is, have your face on, please do. We're doing the cyber community thing. And if you don't, that's fine. I just wanted to invite you to please come on. I don't care about your pajamas and your missing tooth, okay? All right.
Yeah, we're inviting people. If you feel up for it, it would be lovely to see your faces. If you're not, we're all about consent. That's fine. And we need to see each other's faces. It's very healing. It's actually healing. It helps our nervous system to see each other. It actually does positive things for our nervous system. So Eva Clay was on talking about that on Friday, which was really great. So yeah, if you're up for it.
Yeah. And, you know, for me, Amy Jo has given me the honor of being able to speak with her and her tribe. And for me, I'm autistic, and it helps me to be able to see folks. Amy Jo will tell you, I won't meet with you on the phone. I haven't listened to a voicemail in over 10 years, and I don't talk on the phone unless it's a damn emergency, okay? Because I need to manage my 8-year-old autistic savant in here who needs to be able to see people in order to get cues about how to be, okay? And that's just real. So anybody who ever wants to work with me, you just need to know that. So I want to cycle back to the freedom thing. I want to say something about the cocoon and the butterfly thing, Amy Jo. So there's a thing called an imaginal cell, IMAGINAL, an imaginal cell. And that's the goo that you were talking about. I don't know that it's painful to break down. I've had visions of I carry butterfly medicine really strongly. And in my visions, I've been in a cocoon and it didn't hurt. Because it was just releasing of the constraints of that in which I was enveloped, right? And then there's this transmutation thing that happened, and then I made some choices, and some other things came out of me being this goo thing, and then I came out. So these imaginal cells are basically like stem cells. I mean, they talk about how these imaginal cells in cocoons, without the trigger that they're not totally sure about yet, it could be a frog that comes out of that cocoon, because it is literally physicalized potential, right? We're in a cultural time of cultural potential. And when we individually cocoon and make this a time of stepping into our renaissance-ness, we can emerge with all kinds of new skills. My 72-year-old partner is learning trumpet and piano and French and Italian. Okay, and y'all don't know, most of you, Penny. Amy Jo knows Penny, and she's just cute on 2 legs. We have gone to bed for 29 years. We have gone to bed more in love than our hearts can handle, and have awakened more in love than when we went to sleep. We have had 6 heated discussions in 29 years. And trust me, that makes her an angel, because I am the devil's trainer. Okay? And so it's just like this. That's real. Okay? And so Penny is like, wow, I'm retired. I can learn all the things. And she said, we call her Christmas, because she's just like, wow, this is really neat. Okay. And she says things like neat and means them, which still blows my mind. And so she's learning. That's what she's doing. She's doing the receptive thing. All right. Freedom comes when we get in mastery. You can't get mastery from pure penetration, and you cannot get mastery from pure receptivity. You need to learn things and do things. That's what gets you mastery, right? And when I say penetrative and receptive, again, this languaging thing. See, all right, so here's my conspiracy theory. All right, here we go. There's a conspiracy around language that is designed to make us be divisive against ourselves and each other. Let me give you an example. United we stand, divided we fall. That's not true. It's not true. United we stand, divisive we fall. Because if you don't have division, division is neutral. Division, if you don't have division, you don't have a human being. You got an amoeba. And that's all you got. Okay? You just got a one-celled thing just floating around doing a whole bunch of nothing, except being a one-celled thing, until you have division. Now, there's divisiveness, which is damaging, and there's diversity, which is specialization in your realm that you've divided out, and there's bridging that can happen across diversities. We have that option because we have the power of choice. Power being defined as the ability to influence that which is not our isness. Y'all still with me? Right? Okay. I see you listening deeply, and I'm still going to ask for hippie hands, so I'm going to make sure I'm not losing anybody. All right. Thank you. So what happens when we look at the world not through a lens of that's them and they're wrong? Because people are saying, we want to get rid of the us and them. I don't want to get rid of the us and them. I don't want to specialize in cooking sushi. I want somebody who wants to specialize in cooking sushi to specialize in cooking sushi, and then I'm going to go eat it. Okay? Like, they don't want to specialize in languaging. That's my jam. And so instead, we can bridge across our diversities and celebrate them. Because here's the thing, y'all. Behavior that's rewarded persists. Most of y'all have heard that, right? Behavior that's rewarded persists. Behavior that's cherished innovates. When it feels safe and secure enough, then the behavior can go to the edge of its isness and then step over that edge. And just in the simple act of stepping past your boundaries into a new place, you can make choices that let you be functional, and then you're innovating by virtue of the fact that you are in a notness that now is becoming your isness. That's innovation. Y'all get that? Innovation is not a hard thing. Okay, great. Thank you, Amy. Joe, so if you can step to the edge of your isness, then everything beyond your isness is notness, right? When you step into that notness and you remain functional, it's now become your isness by virtue of the fact that you're standing there. Okay, it's the easiest way I know to innovate, right? It is also why 80% of innovation happens from outside of an industry. Because you've got people who have nothing to do with the thing going, well, if you just put this here, that will work. You know, because they don't know that you can't do that. They don't have that lens. That makes sense? Innovation is not hard. Here's the yummy thing. Behavior that's celebrated evolves. And let's face it, folks, evolution is just a bunch of innovations having a rave in the culture sub-basement. Okay? You get that? When you get enough innovations together, here, I'm a one-celled amoeba, but I want to grow an eye. Okay, well, I'm a one-celled amoeba, and I want to grow this little thing that like kind of is like a leg thing. And then you get all them together, those one-celled things, and next thing you know, you got a human. And it's just a bunch of innovations that came together in the culture of one-celledness to come together and collaborate to make a thing that we call the human being. All right, so behavior that's rewarded persists. That's back to the discipline thing, right? You reward yourself in the behavior, it persists, it becomes discipline. Behavior that's rewarded persists, behavior that's cherished innovates, behavior that's celebrated evolves, and let's face it, evolution is just a bunch of innovations having a rave in the culture sub-basement. That means that we have an opportunity to evolve our global culture. Now, I did mention at the beginning of this that I'm very bossy. I know that for those of you who know me, that will come as a shock. And I'm trying to be bossy about things that are going to make a positive difference for other people. So my bossy is, I have Planet JWOW. We are growing a global culture of inclusion, welcome, and empowerment. Now, if you don't want to live in a world where inclusion and welcome and empowerment are all around you, what you get to do, what you get in you, then don't come play on my planet. That's just that. And grow your planet the way that you want. Okay, this is the choice that I've made, and then I invite people in to come play on my planet because I'm good at, I specialize in inclusion and welcome and empowerment. And that's not a bunch of snowflake stuff. Because let me tell you something about snowflakes. You get enough of those, you get a blizzard, and you go snowblind. Okay, light is not always right. All right, that's real. And darkness is not bad. No womb, no people. Get over it. All right. So we have an opportunity to change languaging. We have an opportunity to change connotations. We have an opportunity to make choices from a place of power where we're empowering ourselves and each other. And every time we do that, we're bridging across diversities. We're bridging across our differences. It doesn't, us, them is fantastic. When you see us, them through a lens of fantastic, then you're not trying to take away someone's difference. That's why I don't have teams. I have tribes. Individuality is a critical part. That I in the middle of tribe, that is critical. You need to have the individuality in order to have something that's balanced. I'm not looking for a hive mind thing. We're looking at an opportunity to have our individualism be celebrated, where we get to share, when we create an environment that is safe for that to be true. Let me tell you something about bridging across diversities. I have talked with, and this is the string, I have spoken with a KKK member, a Nazi, and a young Marine, good-looking, wealthy Trump supporter, and had each of them look at my chocolate brown face and say, I need to go home and rethink my position on Negroes. Looking in my face, okay? Because I will bridge over to your diversity if you will just accept my invitation to be with me and work with me, and let's hear where you are. Okay, I'm gonna make space for you. Now, I got my ass kicked to be that kind of open person, and I learned to be that. It would be really nice if people made that choice without the ass kicking part. Just out of a place of power, made the choice, because choice is power. Decision, that's a T-bar, pros and cons. There are more pros and cons, you do the thing. There are more cons than pros, you don't do the thing. And then there's choice. There's more cons than pros, and I'm gonna do it anyway. At least I know what I'm getting myself into if I've also done the decision-making tree, right? Choice is power. I have talked to so many Holocaust survivors. I'm very blessed to have known them when I was younger, and they talk about their sense of freedom while in concentration camp, because they chose for that to be true. And it stuck with me that each of them used the word choice and not decision. Isn't that interesting? Right? Because if they looked at pros and cons, they would have folded up just like their friends who died. They made a choice. We got something to learn from that. The urban kids have a lot to teach us about how to get through hell. Because here's the bottom line. Best way to get through hell is just go through hell. You just keep going. And I'm not looking for the light at the end of the tunnel. I want to be the light in the tunnel. Okay, that's a choice I'm making. And I want to inspire people to do that. Your light may not be big. I'm loud. Spirit literally told me in a meditation, Julie Carol Woods, you were a full frontal neon assault on the spiritual optic nerve of the planet. Okay. One of my favorite quotes of all time. All right. I'm loud. Not everybody is that. Sometimes your light is a candle. Sometimes your light is a match. You can start a firestorm with a match. Oh. It's about placement and timing and choice. It's about standing in what you choose and standing by it and being accountable. And when we do that, we get to see all kinds of things change because we're present. Because we're present, we get a sense of mattering. We get a sense of our value. And right now, we get to shift into high gear about how we value ourselves so that our energetics radiate out so that others may choose their own value. Amy Jo has chosen her value and said, good, bad, or indifferent, happy or crushed, I'm going to show up every day. That's her choice. Look at that powerful choice. Look at the people who get to be lifted up because she made that choice. She's like, I'm going to be accountable for I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, Amy Jo. This is how I perceive you. I love you so much and I am so proud of you. I am, baby girl. You're amazing. You're making this choice to be with your tribe in whatever way you can so that they have a point of stability and a possibility for security in a world that's based in our cyber world right now. You've chosen to be the light in the damn tunnel instead of waiting until you get to the end of the tunnel. There are a whole bunch of people who are just waiting to do this kind of thing when all this is over, not knowing that they can do this right now, that they can be the light in the tunnel right now. Okay, now, I mentioned that I've almost been killed a whole bunch of times, and I've almost died a whole bunch of times, and I had a whole bunch of mess happen. I've been paralyzed from the waist down. I was blind for 6 weeks. I got all kinds of stuff that happened. Okay, that's not the point. The point is I'm very well acquainted with, I may not see tomorrow. So what is it that I absolutely need to get done to leave a mark of love today? I say I love you to my beloveds every time I can, because I don't know that there's going to be any tomorrow where I'm going to get to say that.
Thank you for that reminder. Yeah.
Yeah, that's real.
That is
That's
real.
real. Okay.
So I'm just watching, we're almost at the top of the hour. So I would just love to hear from people. I see Jolie is on Facebook and says this is juicy. People are watching on the Facebook. So glad to have you all, however you're able to be with us. So people who are on, I would love to hear, like JWOW has just said so many things. So what's sticking for you? Like what are you taking from this, or what's landing for you that you can do something with today, this week, right now? And you can just unmute yourself. There's a little mute button at the bottom. So feel free to just unmute.
I'll go. Thank you
Awesome.
so much. I feel really grateful to be a part of this and to meet you virtually, JWOW, and share this time. Thank you, Amy Jo, for doing these every day. I haven't been able to attend, but I always look at it and I'm like, it's there, and I get to do it whenever I can. I think my biggest takeaway is the choice. Yeah, that we have a choice. I am Jewish, and so anytime concentration camps or even speaking of Nazi Germany gets brought up, like that hits so viscerally for my family and like past generations. And so this is so much better than that. Like we're still happy and healthy and have opportunity to to do the things that we love from our home and still share space and create community. And so, yeah, the choice, I think, is the biggest thing. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. I'm so glad you're here. It's really good to see your face. Jerry lives in LA. I know her personally. Pamela, lovely to see you. Glad you could join us. Linda, Lori, Renee, do any of you want to hop in? Just what's one thing that's landing for you or that you can take and do something with right now?
I'll go. So thank you very much. I really needed to hear that today and appreciate it. I wanted to say that what I took away was to recognize my personal strengths as far as building community, helping other people, supporting myself, getting through day to day, a lot of things that I've had to do as a, just an American female, other things too, and use those talents, relax in the fact that I already know how to do that, and use those talents, skills, inspiration to help others who are maybe struggling in that situation for the very first time right now. And actually, this entire series has been fabulous. I've been super inspired to do some things within my own communities, in my own areas with my tribe. And I really appreciate that today. I actually feel a personal essay kind of thing about this welling up, about choices and cocooning, and deciding where you want to be and who you want to be as a person at the other end of it, as opposed to dwelling on the can'ts. So thank you very much. And for me, that sense of empowerment, but also go out and share your mastery with other people, really hit home.
Thank you. Awesome share. Thank you. Yeah. Linda, do you want to hop in with something?
Sure. I guess what hit me was actually cocooning, because I've always liked from the very beginning, I heard Amy Jo say that, I've always liked that languaging from JWOW. I just have to take it more seriously and actually cocoon a little, and cocooning to bloom at the end, so we become the butterfly. And I know that's happening for me in a different arena, but taking the time and like reading the book I wanted to read instead of doing all the work I have to do, that kind of thing. So thank you.
Yes. So many books we get to read now. Look, I just redid my shelf. So many books. Renee, I know you're not on video.
Your Tootsie Roll Owl is missing.
What's that?
That was my favorite. Your Tootsie Roll Owl is missing. That was my
I know. I have it here. I know. I'll bring it back. I don't know. Yeah, there's not room for all the books. Gotta make room.
No, this has been great. Sorry, I'm not on video.
That's okay, Renee.
Yeah, no, I'm loving this time. I just think the world needs this, and I'm actually overwhelmed in the sense that there's so many choices, and I'm trying to stay focused and keeping a routine every day. And 3 weeks prior to all this happening, I was feeling this push to make a change, and it's just the time for all of us to just end up where we want to be.
Yeah, recreation. Beautiful recreation time. Pamela, I know you just joined, but anything you want to say? It's lovely to see you. Pamela's been with us almost every day as well.
So sorry, I had another commitment, but I look forward to connecting on the replay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm glad to see you. Even just to see your beautiful face for a minute makes a difference, as we've said. So,
Thank you.
JWOW, I would love for you to, I don't know, I feel like I want an assignment from you or something. Like, I feel like I want you to like give us a, like, go do this, folks. Like, there's so many takeaways from what you just talked about. Definitely, if you didn't get to see this whole thing, please do watch it. Yeah, what do you want to leave us with, JWOW? You're amazing. Love you so much.
I'm going to leave you with one of my favorites. so many of us say but, and what we do is we disempower ourselves in the process. I love you, but you leave your underwear on the floor. Okay, it negates the I love you. That's very different from I love you and you leave your underwear on the floor. Okay, and in this time, because we're just all discombobulated, there's a lot of but happening, you know? And so my request would be that you go on a 30-day butt diet. Okay, that you, yeah, I said it. All right, so you go on a 30-day butt diet and say, and instead, here's the thing, when you're actually diligent about that, when you take this really seriously, I've been doing this since 1981. When you take this seriously, you will find yourself saying, and then going, whoa, I just said, I do this, I do this, I do this, but it's scary times now. And then you say something else that's disempowering. If you were to just hold on to your power and say, I do this and this and this, and it's scary times, then you still get to do the empowered thing that's on the front end. You don't disempower yourself, right? Hippie hands, please. Okay? So that would be my assignment, is go on the 30-day Planet JWOW butt diet. And wait, not but wait, there's more. Okay, yeah, so it's and, right? Because and lets us hold on to our power so that we have that power available to us in order to make choices. And the ability to make those choices makes a difference. So that would be my thing, is please do what you need to do to keep yourself empowered. Not so that you can empower others, just keep yourself empowered so that you can be in your bliss. And in the process of doing that, you will, by the nature of that bliss, empower others with your existence. That's what's true on my world. And since we're on Planet JWOW right now, I'm right. All right. Amy Jo, thank you so much.
JWOW, thank you. Thank you for all you are in the world. Thank you for your spirit of welcome. Always, always spirit of welcome. And for always giving me new perspectives and ways to see things. So you and your 23 friends are very good at helping us see multiple perspectives on things.
As it were, so to speak.
Exactly.
Golly gee, living into my business. All right.
Always.
It's been a pleasure and a privilege to meet members of your tribe.
Thank you, everyone, for being
Yeah.
here. All right.
Thank
So tomorrow, Mani-Pedi Day. I'm gonna like play like fun ass videos, and I don't know if we'll get in trouble on Facebook. We'll see how it goes. But we're gonna play fun videos, and we're gonna do mani-pedis. So please show up with your nail polish and your glitter. I know, I'm ready. I'm totally ready. Show up with your nail polish, your glitter, your stickers, like whatever the hell you like, your toenail clippers, your things, like that's what we're doing tomorrow. We're just gonna do group mani-pedi because we can't go out and do that right now. My toes look a mess. So so that's what we'll be up to tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, Beth Osmer will be here, who is amazing shaman, healer, gorgeous light in the world. So she will be taking us through a process on Wednesday. So that's what we got, and I'll let you know how the rest of the week shapes up. But tomorrow, we're going to have some fun. We're just going to play.
Sounds fantastic. Have fun, everyone. I actually have a meeting at this time tomorrow, and I've only had one manicure in my life.
Damn it!
So I really wish I could be. Have fun for me, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you all for being here.
Take care, everybody.